Being able to understand the weather helps in preparing for a disaster as well as for surviving a disaster. Part of understanding the weather is being able to understand basic thunderstorm dynamics. This illustration represents the typical structure of a supercell storm. From this, you can see identifying portions of the storm in relationship to each other. Note that the precipitation area of the storm is separate from the area of the storm where the tornado has formed. The tornado formed from a wall cloud, which formed at the base of the updraft, which is crowned by the overshooting top. Knowing the structure of a storm cell can help when viewing it on radar, or by satellite, or visually. This is the radar representation of a supercell storm. This is the satellite representation of a supercell storm. You may think that the watches and warnings you get are sufficient warning to prepare for whatever may occur weather-wise. No. The area in yellow is a tornado watch. Note the large geographic area it encompasses. A watch simply means that conditions are favorable for the particular event the watch is for to occur. The red area indicates a warning. A warning means the event has already occurred. So you can see that with the present watch warning system, we go from information that is too general to be of specific use to information that is too late to prepare for. Relative to the severity of the storm and the damage done, there were very few fatalities in Greensburg, 12. This storm was well announced and the warnings were out. People were at home as it was late evening and were able to get to shelters in most cases. However, invariably, when we respond to a weather disaster scene, somebody always says, "It came out of nowhere." No, actually, it doesn't happen this way. It came out of a complex system of atmospheric events that were probably discussed at least a day before they occurred. We were in the area because we knew there was a high probability for severe weather. The Storm Prediction Center, based in Norman, Oklahoma, produces a product called Convective Outlooks. The first shows the likelihood of severe weather on May 4th. The second shows the likelihood of tornadoes. We had this information at least 10 hours prior to the Greensburg tornado. Access to free services such as this, at the very least, should prepare responders to add manpower and start monitoring their local weather. Radar imagery is perhaps the best way to track storms. By looping radar images, you not only see the intensity of the storms, but you can determine the track they are taking. This particular image and the associated data was delivered by a program called InterRAD. It is useful for observing weather conditions from a stationary point, and allows one to see estimates of hail, wind speeds, and also offers alerts to tornadoes and mesocyclones, the rotating storms that most often parent tornadoes. InterRAD is an inexpensive program that can be downloaded from www.interrad.weather.net. It can be used in mobile applications, but by using cell phone connectivity, which is hardly a system you want to rely on. When we are mobile, we prefer to use a program called Mobile ThreatNet. Mobile ThreatNet goes with us on the road, letting us track storms on the fly and pinpoint dangerous areas using one of our laptop or tablet PCs. Radar, wind shear detection, county warnings, and more appear instantly by the click of a button. ThreatNet employs a continuous signal from XMWX Satellite Weather, the nation's leading satellite-delivered weather service. Because XM's dual redundant satellites transmit in the powerful S-band frequency, we can depend on data-rich signal wherever we roam. The only hardware that's necessary besides your mobile PC is a small XM antenna and the XMWX data receiver. The GPS interface lets us track our position on the roads in relation to the weather, and we are even alerted audibly when we're about to drive into hazardous areas. This program and the hardware is a valuable tool for all sorts of emergency operations, and is available at www.wxworx.com. The bare minimum in awareness and preparedness for severe weather is a NOAA all-hazard radio. This unit can be programmed to only sound during specific events, and until those events are broadcast, it sits quietly on a shelf. Known in the past as NOAA Weather Radio, the newer versions can broadcast all sorts of alerts. The National Weather Service uses trained weather spotters to watch developing weather situations. Most of the warnings issued come from reports from these spotters or from storm chasers. Spotters and chasers can be a valuable resource in a severe weather event. Traditionally, they report directly to the local weather service office, but a few well-placed phone calls can add them to your list of resources. It's important that as emergency responders, we learn to interpret the visual warnings the weather is showing us. For example, a pouch-like look to the clouds can be an indication of a severe storm. Rolling or rotating clouds are an indication of turbulence above, and are also an indicator that the storm may be severe. A distinct lowering portion of the cloud base near the updraft of a storm is called a wall cloud. Most significant tornadoes form from wall clouds. Not all wall clouds produce tornadoes, and not all tornadoes come from wall clouds. But it is certainly a significant indicator that a tornado could form, particularly if the wall cloud is rotating. To call this a tornado would be understandable, but incorrect. Remember, a tornado must be in contact with the ground. This is more accurately called a funnel cloud, but it could very easily become a tornado. In addition to being personally aware of the weather and having a knowledge of what it's going to do, there are larger-scale programs to assist a community in being prepared for a severe weather disaster. 90% of all presidentially declared disasters are weather-related. Through a program developed by NOAA, the National Weather Service has a program to assist communities in acquiring the skills and education necessary to survive a severe weather disaster. This program is called Storm Ready. Storm Ready means that you have in place at least the system shown here. For more information on the Storm Ready program, please refer to www.stormready.noaa.gov.